day, my tea sippers, and you know what time it is. I hope you have all of your crumpets together because it's time to dish tea. And you're dishing tea, darlings, with Big Meat.
Can't wait. It's time to dish tea with Big Meat. It's time to dish tea with Big Meat. It's time to dish tea with Big Meat. It's time to dish tea with Big Meat.
Darling. And hello. Hello. My voice is a little off today, honey. What's going on? What is going on in your world, honey? Hello. To all of my tea sippers, my crumpet dunkers, my tea brewers, my pot stirrers, my tea leaf readers, and my tea baggers. What's your tea, honey? It's another glorious day, my darlings. And you know what time it is. I'm sure you come up in here with all of your crumpets, darlings, because it's time to dish tea. And you are dishing tea, darlings, with Big Meat. What's up? Let me drink some water, though. Okay, that's better. I don't know what's going on lately. I've been feeling this need to hydrate, okay? And I think I know what it is. It's I did a little bit of traveling over the weekend and carrying on, and it's just been that way. Hey, what's going on? I'm seeing new faces. Hey there. Hey, Morris, what's going on? What's going on? Jam. Hey, Jam. What's up, baby? Okay. Okay. Listen, we're about to have some fun. I got some new faces up in here and carrying on, which is really cute. First timers and things, which is wonderful as always. I did some traveling over the weekend, honey. Now, you guys know that I have just been in a whirlwind. Y'all know 2 months ago, I lost my grandson. And then just a couple of weeks ago, honey, it's not even been 2 weeks yet, has it been? Just a few days ago, I lost my sister friend who was in my prom picture. And so I didn't need to get away. And so one of my children made another executive decision and parent napped me. Because I'm too big to be a kid, honey. The parent napped me and we went down to New Orleans. Now, let me say off the rip, the New Orleans trips need a do-over, okay? Because that was both of our first times there. We got there late because his car needed the air conditioning done. And thank God that we got it done, honey, because traveling up in here, that humidity was ridiculously insane during the travel. Had we not had that air conditioner on, honey, we would have been just a sweltering inferno, honey, looking all ridiculously crazy and things of that nature. It was crazy. So we didn't get the car. The time that we thought we were going to be in New Orleans, honey, we didn't leave Atlanta. Okay, we left here at about 5 o'clock, 4:30, 5 o'clock. So we didn't get there till about midnight. Okay, Friday, Saturday morning. So we didn't get a chance to do much. Saturday we got up, tried to get into the city, not knowing where we were going and carrying on. We were off Gravier Street, honey. Gravier and what's that? O'Keefe. I remember that's one of the streets, O'Keefe and I forget the other street that we were in between, but we were in that particular area. Now, I have to say, me not knowing where I'm going and carrying on, I'm just seeing all these buildings, and I'm like, okay, wait a minute, honey, hold up. I'm looking for the people, I'm looking for the festivities, I'm looking for, and I don't, we didn't know exactly what we were doing. So then we went out to go walk in town to go find some dude. I'm trying to take pictures and all this, that, and the other. Honey, where we were, I was like, okay, where do we take the pictures? Ain't nothing is picturesque around up in here. Okay. We saw the streetcar. I was going to get on that. Like, oh, but baby, that damn humidity said no. And then all them folks wanted to get on it. I said, no, we're not going to get on that with that many people. And it's hot already. We were up under heat advisory and carrying on. So I was like, oh no. What was their temperature, honey? Um, the temperature had got up to like 96, I think it was, because I had checked the temperature before we left it. I knew it was going to be in the 90s, but on with the weather thing, we had the red letters, that there was a heat advisory. So the temperature was one thing, but the heat index had got up to maybe like 110. But I could usually handle heat indexes when it's just heat, not humidity. I'm asthmatic, okay? So, all that kind of child is horrible on me. But we were trying to check through and carrying on and this, that, and the other, and blah, blah, yakety. So we got there, walked around a little bit, honey. Daisy Dukes, we went to that for breakfast and carrying on. Breakfast was cute. Water was a little different, honey. That water don't taste all that cute. Okay. So I was like, okay, let's see what you say. Texas heat was 120. Yeah, I'm hearing. Yeah. Whatever this heat wave is that's going through, I live here in Atlanta. Now, we've been in the 90s and carrying on, but we've been getting rain. Okay. But we have not been in that sweltering pocket yet, but it's coming. They done already told us it's coming. We got this wave of rain that's coming this week, and then after this rain comes, it's about to be that way. Okay. So we just got to get ready. Just got to get ready. That's about the end of it. So having said all that, children, it was fun to get away. I had never been there and carrying on, but we're gonna have to do a do-over because now we're realizing a couple of things. We didn't know where to park and this, that, and the other. I overpacked. In fact, I had a whole bag of stuff, honey, that we didn't even use because I thought I was going to be cute and I was going to have Brandon take some pictures and carrying on. But child, he had got into his little mindset. He was like, child, I'm not going to do nothing. And I was like, okay, so I didn't want to force him because I knew already to take the pictures was going to be out of his comfort zone. So me trying to force it, I didn't want to do nothing. So I had a whole bag, honey, that of shit that I didn't even wear. Okay. So I was completely overpacked. But that's cool. It was cool. Better to have it and not use it than want to use it and not have it, right? So that was that. So that was New Orleans. But during the time, honey, I'm gonna get into a couple of things here before we because I'm gonna try not to be before you long. Okay. But let me ask y'all, honey, happy Juneteenth. Happy Freedom Day. Happy African American Independence Day. Okay, that's what I like to call it. African American or Black folks Independence Day. 100%. Okay. Because for those, of course, if you live under a rock and have not heard why we celebrate Juneteenth, and for those of us who never waited for a national holiday to do it, okay, Juneteenth is on June 19th, 1865. This is the day that Galveston, Texas, finally got the memo that the slaves had been freed. And this is the day that all of the indentured servants and those who were captured, the slaves. Okay, this was the day that Texas got the memo and freed their slaves as well. So on this day, all of those who were enslaved had become free. Okay. So, and mind you, this now here is 2.5 years later that this happened because the Emancipation Proclamation was signed in 1863. I want to say, what was that? Was that June or July, 1863? And um, we didn't get that until when we got it. Okay. No, that's not true because this is 2.5 years. So that was December. Had it been like December 1863 or whatever, because June 1865 is when Galveston, Texas got the memo. Okay. So this here is why this is very important and all of that. Now I'm gonna give y'all something because my girlfriend, my sister friend, Miss Flame Monroe, she was saying, one of the things that she is incorporating, she said, I'm going to celebrate Juneteenth, but she says, do not ask me to take away Independence Day. And she said, yes, we already know what Independence Day is. Independence Day, that there was about the American Revolution and this, that, and the other. Slaves were not free and this, that, and the other. She said, but because we wasn't celebrating Juneteenth when I was a child, our Independence Day, it was firecrackers, and barbecue and kids playing and this, that, and the other. So she's on the fond memories of what it was to have celebration and carrying on, because that's what we knew it as. It was, we're all Americans, so it was like the American celebration, even though we as Black folks were not included. Okay. In that particular celebration. So her take is, yes, I'm going to add this to my celebration, but don't ask me not to celebrate the 4th of July. For those who still celebrate the 4th of July, here we still celebrate Thanksgiving, and Thanksgiving ain't got nothing to do with giving thanks or whatever. That was the death march for the indigenous population. The colonizers came in, they learned, and after they got through learning how to work the land, honey, that was their last feast. They sat them down, honey, and buttered them up because they were killing them. Okay, a few days later, and things of that nature. So the story about Thanksgiving is not what it is. So we have a number of holidays, that's there as embedded in the fabric of what we call American history. And the way how they tell these stories, honey, no, this is not what you think it is. Okay. And so because of that, honey, we have a lot that we need to do. Okay. A lot to do, and a lot that we have to educate ourselves about. And to be honest with it, we have to tell the truth. Okay. We have to tell all of the truth about it. Okay. So her assessment is wonderful. Here is what I want to offer a lot of you, and I'm going to show this in just a second. I saw Red was in the comments, and I thought he was asleep by now because nobody knew I was going to do this. And then while I'm doing this for him, let me tell y'all that y'all know this is Monday, and I'm usually not on Mondays anymore because I'm usually at the donut factory. However, because I had went out of town, we thought we were going to end up staying another day. And I didn't want to chance it and then not get back here in time and then, had to call out or whatever. So I had just took today off. So that's why today we're here on a special edition of Dishing Tea, darlings. Okay. But let me show you guys something. Wait a minute. Demetrius, did you load the damn thing up? I probably did not. I didn't. I know I didn't because I was supposed to be loading the picture up so I can show y'all. How many of you guys know that Juneteenth has its own flag? And no, not the ones that y'all see, that's the Africanic flag and this and another. Let me show y'all this. Y'all see that? That there is the official Juneteenth flag. That there was designed in 1997, I believe I read, and it was first flown in 1997. Here is the this is from Wikipedia. It says the Juneteenth flag is a symbol for the Juneteenth holiday in the United States. The first version was created in 1997 by activist Ben Hayes, and that early version was displayed in 1997. The present version was first flown in 2000. The colors and symbols on the flag are representative of freedom and the end of slavery. The date of the flag represents that of General Order Number 3, based in Galveston, Texas in 1865. And in 2020 or 2021, most states began recognizing Juneteenth by flying the flag over their state capitol buildings, especially after Juneteenth was declared a federal holiday by President Joe Biden in 2021. Okay. So how many of y'all knew that this was the actual flag? My whole thing was, I love my country because this is the only one that I know. I was born here. I know I'm of African descent, but only thing I know is the United States of America. At the same time of knowing this, I'm in a country where I'm free to state my opinion and carry on. And so I'm like, okay, the nightmare that we as Black folks have had here is that the flag with the 50 stars on it and carrying on, that red, white, and blue flag that everybody has fought for and has protected. We have had many soldiers die in the name of that flag. That this is why we have Memorial Day. How many of y'all know that Memorial Day was created by Black folks? Why? To memorialize it and to pay homage to the fallen soldiers, because the Black soldiers didn't have a proper burial. So Black folks got together to recognize them. And so then because of that, it became what we know today, usurped by the colonizers and carrying on. And it became what it is today. But Memorial Day started as a Black folks thing to honor our fallen Black soldiers. Okay. So we have a number of things here. I've always said that the flag as it stands, it never represented me, because it always, it told me I was less than. It told me I wasn't supposed to be here as a man, as a Black man, and I happen to be LGBT. No, let me scratch that. I have to be same gender loving. Okay. That flag has done more harm for my communities than good. I'm overweight. Fat, Black, overweight, and gay. Okay. On top of, I have asthma, so that's the whole health disparity. I'm just in so many intersections, and there's so many different pockets and bubbles, to where the flag that's supposed to represent freedom, that's supposed to represent opportunities, that same flag, honey, has a dastardly side to it. And my communities have always been on the losing end of it. So when I found out that this flag is the Juneteenth flag, I said, this is the flag that I would want to fly. Everywhere that I go, that flag is the same colors, and I like the stars. It's the burst of the starburst or whatever that gives me the opportunity and hope and this, that, and the other. But I said, no, I would fly that side by side with our regular American flag, because I have many soldiers, that were in my family. I've had a cousin that I never met who was killed in Vietnam. My great-grandfather was a World War I veteran. So that flag, honey, for those who have stood by it, those who have fought for it and fought under the guise of it, I understand it, and I appreciate them, because they've done something that I don't have the heart to do. I'm not cut out for that kind of work. I would have dodged the draft. I'm telling you, I would have been a draft dodger. They'd have called me all kinds of communism. I'd have dodged it, because I don't have the heart to do that. Okay. So that there is that. Okay. Having said that, uh, that's one of the things that I love about it. But here is my take on it. Okay, June is Black Music Month. June, you have Juneteenth. June is International Gay Pride Month. We have a number of different things that's going on in this month. We also have this past Friday, the 16th, when I was traveling. That's why I wasn't on. This past Friday was, how many years is it now? Just 7 years, 6 or 7 years of the Pulse massacre. Okay. Now, before any of you Black folks try to come for me by saying, I thought you were talking Juneteenth. Here you go mixing that gay shit with the Black shit. Can't we have our own shit? Bitch, I am at the intersection. I'm talking about everything that's me. Okay? Everything that's me. So before you bitches try to come for me, watch your mouth. Here? Because I'm going to cover it all. But watch your motherfucking mouth. Don't do it. Here? All right. Now, we have all this, right, going on. My whole thing has been this. I've always wanted to take Juneteenth and mix something with it. Y'all know how commercially there's always a Christmas in July? Well, how about Kwanzaa in June? I've always wanted to take Juneteenth, and while we're celebrating all of our freedoms and carrying on and understanding that our brothers and sisters and the ancestors from that time finally was able to walk into what the Emancipation Proclamation was given to them. Now, side note, y'all do know that the Emancipation Proclamation was not signed to free the slaves on willy-nilly. You do realize that was a war tactic so that the North can win. Because the idea behind signing that was, if we signed that, they knew that the Black folks was going to run from the South, those who get away, and then they would probably fight for the North and increase their numbers so they could win the South. You do realize that, right? This wasn't about Abraham Lincoln having a heart for Black folks in that regard, even though, Sally Heming was his, Hemingway rather, okay? But we do realize that, correct? You do understand that. If not, okay. So when that was signed, and now we have all of our freedoms and carrying on, I really want us to take and revisit Kwanzaa, because y'all know Kwanzaa is a holiday that starts December 26th and it goes to January 1st. Okay. Well, June is always that's the halfway mark. We're halfway through the year, right? So why not take, and as we're doing all of our cultural stuff, we're all dressed in our finest dashikis and carrying on, wanting to be Black and talk about our freedoms. Well, let's reintroduce Kwanzaa, the principles, so that we could be recharged, like a revival of what that is. And so I'm going to take a minute and I'm going to do just that. Let me share this page so that we could reintroduce those principles to you. Because one of the things about the principles of Kwanzaa is that even though a lot of folks think that Kwanzaa is a Black thing, which it is, but if you recognize and understand the principles of Kwanzaa, honey, this is anybody thing, because what it is celebrating are the fruits. These are the fruits. Okay. And y'all see that, right? Wait a minute. Let me make sure y'all see that, because I want to make sure I stay on the main page so that I can read it out loud. Okay. The Ingu Saba. That's what this is called. The 7 principles of Kwanzaa. Now, usually we would have, okay, what do they call it? Is that the Ingu Saba? I forget what they call the candle thing. So we have 1 black candle, 3 green candles and 3 red candles, right? And so when you're doing this, on day 1, you light the black candle. And then throughout the other days, you alternate, starting with the red, then the green, then the red, then the green. You alternate until you get to the 7th day, and then you light all the candles, right? So the 7 principles of Kwanzaa: umoja, which means unity, to serve and to strive and maintain unity in the family, in the community, in our nation, and in our race. See, I wanted to read the definitions of what this is, because y'all only hear you hear the Swahili words, and then umoja, that means unity. And a lot of folks don't get it because you don't understand why that's important. To strive for and maintain unity in the family, community, okay, the nation, and our race. Very important. Principle number 2, or day 2 of Kwanzaa, kujichagulia. That's my favorite one. Self-determination, honey. To define ourselves, okay? Name ourselves, create for ourselves, and speak for ourselves. Baby, this principle here is very empowering. It gives us everything that we need to claim who we are, to stand in our own authenticity, to stand in our truths. For my trans community out there, this principle here is the one y'all need to stand on, honey. Okay, we always say, I am who I am. I am my own special creation. Okay, because I have the principle. I'm exercising the principle of kujichagulia, self-determination. I get to decide my narrative. I get to decide who speaks for me, and that's me. Okay, I get to call myself what I want to call myself. I get to identify how I wish to identify. And it's not just identify, I get to live in my identity as I choose. Live in it. Don't just identify, I get to live in it. Self-determination. That's big for us as Black folks because, darling, for too long we have not had our identity. We have allowed others to tell us who we are. We have allowed, and we have never stood up and said, this is who I am. That's why that's important. Principle number 3 on day 3 is Ujima, collective work and responsibility. To build and maintain our community together and make our brothers and sisters' problems our problems, and to solve them together. Okay? Yes, honey. Collective works and responsibility, honey. We got to get back to that, where we're able to take on stuff as a community. You know, for too long, we keep telling ourselves that, okay, we don't want nobody in our business and carrying on, but your business indirectly becomes mine, honey, because we are as strong as our weakest link. And anytime we got the negative portions of our community becoming the narrative for all of us, oh, honey, no. We have got to do something about that. We have got to take over our communities. We have got to take over our families. We have got to know how to step in. When you see somebody who really don't know how to care for children, step in and be, honey, this ain't your job no more. But that's my baby. It is your baby, honey, but we got to teach you how to do better. We got to teach you how to do better, have some better respect for the child so the child can respect you better. It's only doing what you're doing to it. Collective work and responsibility. I pronounce it Ujamaa, but they're trying to call it, they pronounce it Ujama now. When I learned it was Ujamaa, but they're saying Ujama, okay? And this here is cooperative economics. Cooperative economics, honey. To build and maintain our own stores, shops, and other businesses, and to profit from them together. That means understanding how we support Black-owned businesses, and we support the businesses support the community supports the school system raise Black kids and fortify them to become better businessmen. They build businesses in the community. We support the business. You see how that rotation goes? If we do this, learning how to do it. See, here's the thing. Have y'all ever been to a food co-op? You know how you pay your little money and everybody's paying to the pot? And then when they go get the food, and it's so much to where you got yours and they got, and there is such a surplus left to where those who didn't have any money that we could still feed them as well. That's what happens when we build our community cooperative, and we cooperate, honey. You put in, hey, what's the thing? I got 5 on it. I put in 5, you put in 5, they put in 5, honey. We could all go get a bottle. Okay. For my weed smokers, y'all know what it is when y'all trying to hustle up on the half ounce. Okay. You know that's $40. 80 y'all put 5 up in there, honey. Y'all know y'all come out with the, well, back in the day when they was rolling doobies. Okay, now everybody trying to have blunt. So y'all know well, whatever. Okay. I'm not a smoker. I'm just around y'all enough to know what's going on. Okay, but you put 5 on it. What happens here? You get a bigger cut. Okay, you can take that half ounce, and that way, if you roll it right, everybody get their own blunt out of it, and then you still got a little bit left over, now don't you? For tomorrow. Since y'all like to try to smoke it all in the same damn night, that ain't my business. I'm moving on. Okay, principle number 5. This is NIA. And its purpose to make our collective vocation the building and development of our community in order to restore our people to their traditional greatness. Okay, to make our collective vocation the building and developing of our community in order to restore our people to their traditional greatness. Building each other up and knowing why we're doing it. Okay, a lot of times we don't have a purpose. We do stuff blindly. We don't have purpose of what we just think we're doing it because of the coin. We think we're doing it because we want to be famous, and there's no purpose behind it. Look at some of the dope dealers. I like using the dope dealers in some of the so-called lower parts of our community, because that there seems to be most accessible. For those of y'all who like to keep it real and like to be hood or whatever, look at the dope man. Got all this damn money in his pocket, but not one time has he ever invested in the life insurance policy. Did he buy a house yet? Talking about I got all this money, ain't bought the house, ain't bought his mama house, ain't got nothing, there's no purpose outside of just that, oh, I'm making this money, I got to make this money. There's no purpose there. There's no rhyme or reason. It's just done haphazardly. Okay, and a lot of us see what that is when we do shit haphazardly. Okay, it has no purpose. We need to get back into NIA, purpose, understanding that every step I take is taking me to the goal. There's a purpose for me being here. There's a purpose for me here. Why I'm doing this or why I'm doing that. It may not make sense at the moment, but the goal and the purpose is there. That's where you got to stay focused. Principle number 6, kuumba, is creativity. To do always as much as we can in the way we can in order to leave our community more beautiful and beneficial than we inherited it. Leave your mark, baby. Leave your mark. What gifts do you have that you can contribute to the community? What gifts do you have that you can sit down and have an apprenticeship by? You could teach somebody what it is that you do. If you're sewing, if you're cooking, if you're painting, if you're doing drywall, if you're fixing on cars, if you know how to work computers, if you do hair, if you do nails, right? Whatever your skill is, if you're acting and can speak well, you're doing podcasts or whatever the case may be. If you're a preacher, all right, you're a singer, whatever your skill is, when your and your talents and your talents. Oftentimes, and we think that no, all of that, the stuff that you migrate to without thinking about it, when you go to it because it's the simplest thing, it's like natural. Those are gifts, honey. That is your communication back to the collective, back to the divine, back to God. That there is your gift back to God because that's what you do naturally. That's what you do naturally. It doesn't require anything. You would do this for free if you could, and you have. You understand? Those are your gifts. So that there, our gifts make a way for us. Ain't that what tradition teaches us? Our gifts will make a way. So you take your gifts, and that's how you leave your mark behind. How many of y'all color? You know, you do your coloring pages and carrying on. How many of you have thought about going and coloring, you know, some of the great big walls or whatever, using finger paints or whatever? It's the same thing. If you want to use Crayola markers or whatever, cool. You know, to make it beautiful. You understand? Creativity. Okay, how many of y'all are good with creative financing and know how to have fundraisers and stuff to get folks to donate to organizations and to charities and things of that nature? How many of y'all know how to put on balls and galas and things to make folks come out to look their best? You know, how many of y'all are into interior designs or party planning? You know, those are your gifts and your talents. Anytime you bake cakes, you could do the wedding cake. Okay, you could do the party cake or whatever. You know, whatever your talents, that's what that is. Okay, and the last principle, imani, which is faith, to believe with all our heart in our people, our parents, our teachers, our leaders, and the righteousness and the righteousness and the victory of our struggle. Faith, to know that who we put in place as our leaders, that they're going to do the right thing. We're going to hold them accountable. Faith that we're going to get to the next level. Faith to know that our parents have taught us well, and whatever mistakes that they made, they did the best that they could with what they had at the time. Faith to know that I'm okay just as I am, and as I grow, what does me no good will fall off. What does me no good will fall off, and I'm going to get to the goal as long as I have purpose. Faith. Those are the 7 principles of Kwanzaa, children. Those are the 7 principles. Yes. Okay. So that you know what, I'm gonna hit you. I'm sitting up here. Wait a minute. Let me go get some of these comments because I'm going to come up in here. Okay. Michael, what's going on, darling? Okay, welcome home, sir. Thank you, darling. Thank you. Love Flame Monroe. Very honest person. Okay, yes, that's my sister, honey. Flame is my sister. Okay. Hey, Charles. Oh, barbecue. Uh-huh. What do you think about Cornel West running for president? Okay, I'm gonna get on that in just a second. Okay. What you gonna do, Ninja? What am I gonna do? Okay, act like you want to act a fool. Okay. Let's celebrate watermelon and chicken. Yeah, let's celebrate that, because a lot of folks don't know the history of that. See, what do y'all know why Black folks, why that's such a stereotype for us? If you do, put it in the comments before I say something. I'm gonna come back to that. Why is that such a stereotype? Because it's true that we do eat a lot of that. But why? Do y'all know why? Okay, cool. I got some canned goods. $40. What's that, oregano? You so damn dumb. You are so dumb. Okay. I can't stand you. I saw that. That's why I started laughing. Okay. Put in the comments if y'all know what that is. Oh, you know what? I got this little pillow here that's supposed to help with your back, right? Let me show y'all this damn pillow. I got this pillow, right? And apparently, I must be sitting on this thing wrong, or it ain't doing what the hell it's supposed to do. Because every time I sit here, right here at the top of my neck, in between my shoulder blades, is where I'm y'all see me always rubbing up in here because it get tight. I'm like, okay, what is going on right up in here? And it's supposed to be relaxing and supposed to relieve the stress or whatever. But okay, whatever. Okay. Anywho, that there is of that. Okay, nobody put up in here. Well, let me tell you. The reason why chicken and watermelon have become such a stereotype for us as Black folks, and we always eating a lot of it, is because back during the times of segregation, well, I'm just say blatant segregation, and we were not allowed to go into restaurants and eat, or better yet, because they had the colored signs only and carrying on, they wouldn't serve us or would serve us, from what I'm told, I've never experienced that, substandard food or whatever, and it would be right. So during the times where we would travel, okay, oftentimes, more than likely all the time, we were traveling with fried chicken. And I just heard somewhere else that if it wasn't fried chicken, or fried chicken and pork chops, okay, and cut up watermelon and things of that nature, because it kept longer. They didn't have a lot of refrigeration or whatever. So you're traveling, especially for those coming through the South or whatever, long distances and carrying on, making sure y'all don't get stopped by the police and all that kind of jazz. Well, chicken and watermelon. The chicken was because it didn't spoil during the trip, okay? And the watermelon was because it's watermelon. It gave you the sweetness, and because of the melon itself, it kept you hydrated. So, yeah, we ate a lot of it and stuff, but there was a reason for it, okay? Now, what we have discovered later are the health benefits of watermelon and what it does for the system, because it does a wonderful thing with cleansing the system and gives you all the antioxidants and carrying on. And for men, is also for virility and all of that with your man parts. Okay, it helps keep you together. But the secret is you got to eat the white part of the rind. Not just the meat. You got to get that white part. How many of us? I know I used to scrape that all the time. So there, and because I didn't know you couldn't eat out, I just thought we got to. I was like, the white stuff was good, but it was always hard, right? So we scraped through it because I still had, the meat from the watermelon that didn't come off. I was trying to get it off, but not knowing that that's the white part of the rind, honey. They call that nature's natural Viagra for men. Okay. So, ha, 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 that there is something. But that's why, one of the reasons why that there's such a stereotype, because that's how we had to travel. Okay. And we kept stuff, that was going to be cooked so that it would keep along the trip. Okay. So be that as it may. So happy Juneteenth, everybody. That there is one of the things I wanted to get with you guys on today. Now I'm the next two stories I'm about to tell y'all, I'm upset with them. I'm very upset with them. And it really makes no sense. It doesn't. It makes no sense whatsoever. And this hooker here, if ever I got a chance to meet her, I would give her one on knock. And that there is wait a minute, what's her name? Rose what? Rose Montoya. Okay. Rose Montoya. All right. She's a transgender model. Uh, she was banned from the White House. Okay. She was banned. Why was she banned? Because this heifer decides to take her dress and go topless at the White House party. Okay? I believe this was a lawn party of some sort. I'm going to read this story. This is coming from the New York Times. And it reads, the title of it says, trans model Rose Montoya goes topless during White House Pride Party after meeting Biden. So not only that the White House doing a Pride Party, okay, specifically for the alphabet children, this heifer decided to take it a step further. So it says a transgender model and activist is under fire for popping off her top at the White House and cupping her breasts moments after shaking hands with President Biden, with critics blasting it as an international embarrassment, quote unquote. Rose Montoya, 27, who was among the lengthy list of guests invited to celebrate Pride at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue Saturday, was recorded pulling down her dress and cupping her exposed breast in front of the Truman balcony with the Pride flag hanging in the background. No, this isn't another hookers and blow photo from Hunter's laptop. It was the Pride Party on the White House lawn 2 days ago, hosted by Joe, radio host Dana Loesch tweeted. Former New York Police Commissioner Bernard Kerik, who was convicted of tax fraud and lying to the White House officials and served 4 years in prison before being pardoned by former President Trump, slammed Biden aides for allowing the stunt to happen on the White House grounds. Quote, okay, who was running the fucking White House and allowing this deviant garbage to go on right outside the Oval Office, Kerik rather. We know it's not at Joe Biden. This dude has no idea where he is. So who is it? Who is the cause of this international embarrassment? The city's former top cop asked. Montoya shared the racy footage Monday to Instagram along with a spliced together video of the event where the president and First Lady Jill Biden delivered speeches to hundreds of invitees in the audience. We are topless at the White House, the person recorded in the video. Also in the clips, the Idaho-born model was seen getting the opportunity to meet the president and the First Lady. Quote, it is an honor. Trans rights are human rights, Montoya said to Biden as they shook hands. Footage also showed that the speech delivered by the 80-year-old president, who said the members of the LGBTQ plus community were some of the bravest and most inspiring people he has ever known. Following uproar from conservatives who Montoya says are trying to use her clip as an example that the transgender community grooms young people, the model made a response video pointing out that being topless is not against the law in Washington, D.C. She says going topless in D.C. is legal, and I fully support the movement to free the nipples, she said. Why is my chest now deemed inappropriate or illegal when I show it off? However, before coming out as trans, it was not. All you're doing is affirming I'm a woman, she clapped back at all the haters. Montoya, who began her transitioning in 2015, said she purposely covered her nipples to, quote, play it safe, with, quote, zero intention of trying to be vulgar, that she was, quote, simply living in joy, living my truth, and existing in my body. Happy Pride, free the nipples, she said, as she concludes her response video. Okay, there's more to this, but I'm going to stop there because it's getting on my nerves. Okay, I'm gonna stop there. Okay. Now, from what I'm understanding, I'm looking at this picture. There were trans men there, and so all the men, or whatever this picture was, the men were topless. Okay. So now she's claiming that because, apparently that they were or whatever, that she could too, just trying to fit in. So she gonna drop and do the do I diddy. Bitch. Bitch. You know damn well what you were doing. I don't want to hear nothing about, oh my God, I'm trying to live in my body and this, that, and the other. Oh, you're doing nothing but confirming that I am a woman. This, that. Bitch. You know damn well that if you did doing that was going to make you newsworthy. You knew that doing that was going to start a whole bunch of riffraff. You knew that doing that and pulling that particular stunt girl was going to put a mark on this. And you, dear sister, have just all of the steps that the trans community is trying to take to go forward. You have just given the oppressors another nail in the coffin, especially in this climate where we're talking about drag shows, trans rights, and this, that, and the other. How do you desecrate the White House as the institutionalized building, as the symbol of decorum and things of that nature? How do you do that? Again, not knowing what's going on. See, this is the kind of stuff when they talk about drag shows and carrying on. When they say, okay, you doing that, there was kids there, because from what I'm understanding, some of the correspondences or whatever had some of their kids there. They said a bishop was there. One of the bishops was there and had his children there, or something like that. Okay. This is the unsuspecting stuff that the people who claim and say that this shit do not need to go on, this is what they're talking about. This. Everything was fine. If you now, I know Frame had talked about this earlier, and I know during her report she was saying somewhere up in there that Miss Thing said, "Oh, well, the boys, were taking the trans men took their shirts off." Well, honey, they're trans men. They have a breast reduction. They're living their lives as men. They got their hormones, and they're pumped up. They're it's not breasticles. They have pecs. Okay, it's designed. Bitch, you had your titties out for what? This wasn't a drag show. This was not a drag show. And listen, for all of you who are contest girls, all of my contest girls, I need y'all to clock this, because don't you get points taken off if your breasts or something slip out of the gown? Why? Because it said the gown was ill-fitting and it was inappropriate, right? In the contest, honey, you when do you show your titties off? When it comes down to swimsuit, right? When it comes down to swimsuit and bathing suit or whatever, you come out there trying to let have, and you got your tuck snatched. Okay, you in this one piece or whatever. You in gauze or whatever. Took some elastic, bitch. Okay, and got real creative, right? There's a time and a place. This here was not the time, nor was the place, and this here was a stunt. This was a stunt among stunts. And then on top of it, with Biden getting all of the plaque that he's getting already, why would you add to that? Why would you add to the contention about his presidency? And the fact that he's an ally to the community. So now you have just shitted on his allyship because you want to be smart. And then there's a half-assed response that you done did, girl. This makes no sense. I'm not going to even chuck that up to you being 27 years old, because, bitch, you know right from wrong. You know right from wrong. What an opportunity that was to sit, and you was on the guest list. Now, they say it was a lengthy guest list, but, bitch, you was on the list. You were on the list to come to the White House party on the lawn at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. And what do you do to commemorate the moment? You show your titties. Flame said something, and when she said it, I gagged. She said, now how about that? She said, when Janet Jackson did it, honey, y'all was ready to call, y'all cut her off. She wasn't supposed to be on TV. Children went crazy. She said, now, here this girl, she's a trans woman and does it. She don't get the same backlash. Honey. She done jumped to another gig. Y'all done said they got her another gig. She's doing this, she's doing that. She said, so for all the outrage that y'all have against the trans community, how is it that the biological woman or the cisgender woman, she didn't say cisgender, she said the biological woman, I'm saying cisgender because that's the politically correct term, gets the backlash for showing her titties, but the trans woman doesn't. Doesn't that feed into this whole narrative of you're trying to erase women, which I hate that narrative, because can't nobody erase you, girl. Okay, and can't nobody be in your place. No. Okay, let me not. I'm gonna go there later, because part of that. Now I'm gonna go there now. Part of what you're talking about erasing and carrying on is the fact that because the trans women out there, most of them, no, let me not say most. A lot of them exude a lot more feminine energy than a lot of women do these days. And what y'all mad about is the fact that they could pull a man before you can. And that's what you're mad about. You ain't mad because this bitch is calling herself a woman. You mad because she could pull a man that maybe you thought you wanted, but he going after her. And you mad about that. That's what you're mad about. Let the truth be known, honey. Anybody racing you, bitch, you mad because a trans woman could get trade before you can in some cases. And the trade that she get are trade that identify as heterosexual. Not that they gay men, not that they butch queens, because they're not. They are attracted to women, and they see a woman, especially if at the time they meet, they have not disclosed themselves, and you get mad because they can do that. That's what all this erasing me out comes from. Or I'm gonna say that's going to be the core. Everything else that y'all talk about, it has merit, but the core is that a trans woman can get trade, honey, and y'all don't like that because the trade ain't gay. That's my soapbox for the moment. But this hooker here, she needs a knock. She needs a knock. 1010 knock. Okay. 1010 knock. Now, you want to know who else need a damn knock? You conservative children who sat up and called a boycott against Kellogg's products. Yeah, you heard what I said. The conservative children have sat up and called a boycott against Kellogg's products. Why? Because the same trans girl that was on the Bud Light cans, Miss what's her name? I just had her name. Mohaney. Dylan Mohaney or Mulvaney, that's her name. Dylan, minding her own business, was on a red carpet somewhere. Okay, she was taking pictures. All right, it was a Tony's Award. That's what it was. She was Tony's. Someone dressed as Tony the Tiger had come out from behind somewhere. Right. She didn't know he was behind her, so she got startled or whatever. And out of that, came a photo op, right? So she took a picture with Tony the Tiger. Well, the conservative children, honey, did not like that. Them same children, most of these are the same kids who were mad at the fact that Bud Light used a trans person to advertise the beer, right? So now the children sitting up there saying, oh, Kellogg's is down for this. And Kellogg is supporting them trying to come after our children. And Kellogg is promoting blah, 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 blah. So we need to boycott Kellogg's because now I can't have my Frosted Flakes in peace knowing that they support something like that. I'll wait. I'll wait. I'm waiting for somebody to make that make sense. It's a picture. It's a picture of somebody in a Tony the Tiger costume. In a costume. But because Tony says they're great, you say that they're not great no more to you. Where is the logic in that? Huh? You didn't say you boycotting them because they went up to $6 a box on certain cereals. You didn't say that you boycotting them because Kellogg's has a history of X, Y, and Z. You said you're boycotting them because they took a picture. The character of Tony the Tiger took a picture with Dylan Mulvaney, and you feel that they are supporting her. Isn't this Hollywood where pictures are everything on the red carpet? Isn't this what the whole idea of all that is? Photo opportunities. I get to put this up on the mascot, and isn't that what all this is? But I don't think they think like that. Okay. And those who don't think outside of that particular realm usually are the ones who become very problematic for the rest of the world, because what happens, they get all in their emotions, and then you start to protest shit and want to battle over something that's a personal decision. Why aren't you and your family saying, okay, we're going to boycott this? How come that's not your own individual fight? Y'all declared a whole thing and telling everybody, all the conservatives, honey, who was against the trans thing and blah, 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 boycott Kellogg's. Make it make sense to me, honey. Somebody please make this make sense. Huh? Can you do that for me, please? Make it make sense. Right. Because you can't. You can't. And then, what does this say about our country, about the people that, what does all this say? What does it say? Have we gotten so beside ourselves to where we have allowed, we have allowed the residue of what reality television shows have done. This is the residue from all of that. This is residue. Okay? People are so fucking sensitive. People feel as though now, because they can cut a jig, okay, they can cut a jig, and it's okay, because as long as everybody's sitting up there recording it, ooh, go girl, ooh, okay, oh, look at it, okay, and then world star, and want to put it up on the Instagram or on the TikTok or on the whatever, and you go viral. Okay. So a lot of this is because of this. This is the residue of what we have allowed our society to come to. You can't even take a picture anymore without it offending somebody. You know what I'm saying? And see, you know what we say, what about one of the things about life is that you can't please everybody. Well, now that we have this thing called social media, and everybody got a camera at their disposal because of their phones, and it's happening in real time, we could disappoint a whole bunch of people at the same time across the world in seconds. And because people only go, they read the headlines, they never read the story. They sit up and base their opinions based on what the headlines are. Okay, don't we call that clickbait? You read the headline, that's the first thing. Okay, let me see what y'all talking about because you got my attention. But we go and try to do investigative, and we find out, oh, honey, yeah, that's clickbait. You just got me to come to your page. Okay, don't we do that? Well, what do you think all of this is? Okay, with all of this wanting to boycott this, boycott that. We so quick at what they are. Okay, and yes, the racist Karens and carrying on when they get to popping off and this, that, and the other. Okay, when they get to making an ass out of themselves, now that's when I have a problem. If they make a complete ass out of themselves, and then you want to go have them fired, not now. In some cases, it's warranted. I agree, totally, it's warranted, but not every case. Not every case. But all we want to do is go get them fired. So now if they're fired, they have no source of income, do they? Which means they can't pay their bills, can they? Which means that they got to resort to something to go pay a bill, right? Or get on the welfare, right? So if they get on the welfare, then that means that your tax dollars are helping to fortify them. Have you thought about that? Have you thought about every time that you go tell a Karen, oh, go get a Karen fired? Okay, and especially for those who do it for the dumbest things. Every time you get a Karen fired, and especially we don't know what they're fired from or how they manage their money. If they have to go get food stamps or whatever, those are your tax dollars that's paying for that to help supply them. Okay, yeah, yeah. So either way it goes, you can still disagree, but not every case to fire a Karen, honey, is warranted or necessary. But that's all we do, don't we? Because of this damn thing here. Ooh, 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 ooh. Now these folks talking about some boycotting Kellogg's because the trans girl took a damn picture with a cartoon character. Tony the Tiger ain't even real. It's a fucking mascot. It's a mascot. They can't listen. The Tony the Tiger costume can't. It doesn't even look like the drawing half the time because they can't perfect it like that because Tony is a drawing. And y'all want to boycott. You want to boycott Kellogg's because the damn mascot scared her on the red carpet, and to make light of it, they took a picture together to have a kiki. But you can't eat your Frosted Flakes or your Fruit Loops in the morning no more. So, yeah. How ridiculous is that? How ridiculous does that sound? Huh? I can't. I can't. And I won't. Okay. And I won't. All right. Let me do one more thing before we go. And it's going to be a question. I tried to put this on my TikTok yesterday coming in. We were traveling in from New Orleans, and I thought I had hit the post button on my TikTok, and it didn't post. So I'm going to ask this. And listen, this is to all of my alphabet children, okay? Particularly my black gay men. But my heterosexuals in there, if you've experienced this from your perspective, and you know what I mean, what I'm going to say, if you have a heterosexual equivalent of this, let me know, okay? Why is it that whenever we go into a bar that is predominantly a Caucasian-centered bar, and there's a number of Black folks there, why is it that the Black folks who are obviously into dating interracially exclusively, why is it that you always turn your fucking nose up to the other Black people in the bar? Huh? Why do you turn your nose up at the other Black people in the bar? I found it so comical when we were in New Orleans. We were at the Phoenix, right? AKA the Eagle. Again, I don't know how that works. Okay. So we get there, first time there, it's, we call them the holes in the walls or whatever. It's a smaller joint, one of them places where it's getting nut to butt, honey. And it's like, that makes me nervous these days because I need to have some filtration up in here. And as a security officer, I'm always looking at fire exits or whatever. How do we get out of here if something happens, right? So I'm sitting and, we come up in and things and uh-huh and uh-huh. Well, every Black person that generally dates interracially, and I don't know them from a can of paint, but their actions say that this is what they do. Every last one of them that came by me, whatever, I'm very convivial. You're trying to say hi and this, that, and the other. They either shun me or look right through me as if I was glass or non-existent. And I wonder, why do we do that? Why do we? I wasn't there to pick up nobody. I'm a first timer. And usually the first timers, you would think I'm a new face. Usually that new meat is, the sharks come out for new meat, right? And the barracudas and the piranhas, okay? No, not at all. In fact, I ended up having a conversation with a guy named Ronnie, beautiful white guy, about my height, thick like I like him, brown, dark brown hair, full beard and mustache, nicely trimmed and things. And we just had a wonderful conversation. All right, talking. He was telling about the history of the bar and things at 40 years old and this, that, and the other, giving me all of that wonderful, rich history. The debauchery room is upstairs, okay? And Karen, that's the blackout room, honey. And it was apparent, okay, of what the tea was. So I'm like, okay, I've outgrown these things, honey. So let me take my ass back downstairs. Okay. And then again, I'm not there for that because number one, I didn't realize that was going to be going on. I should have, because it said this is the ego. So I'm like, oh, okay. But all right, but all of the Black children, honey, not all. It was one Black guy. One, yeah, Kevin. He's the only Black guy I talked to outside of my son Brandon. Everybody else just walked by. And it's not even to say that I wanted a long conversation. You know how you just greet, say, hey, how you doing? Hey. Nothing. I say hi, they kept going, just being, just walk right on by. And me, I asked this question too. Every time we have discussions like this or whatever, those who do that shit are never around. I get tired of preaching to the choir. Okay? Because I get tired of the choir always there and we just having an amen session. I want to talk to the bitches who do this. Why do you do it? And I will accept I will accept the reason of, I'm here and I'm on a mission. I'm not attracted to you. So when I'm there, if I see you, I'm not attracted to you. So hey, I ain't got shit to say. I can accept that, you know, but they never have a reason. Or no, I'm gonna say never, because usually we get the surface answer. Oh, child, I really wasn't paying attention. Oh, I'm so sorry. I had my mind on other. And bitch, don't say that. Save it. Okay. They had a little contest going on at the bar, right? And it was cute. They pulled contestants up out the audience. They were trying to have the daddy, little contest or whatever. So they set up and they had to parade around either in a jock strap, G-string, underwear, whatever, no shirt. It's one of those body beautiful kind of things, right? So part of their duties was they had to go and sell raffle tickets, okay, a 50-50 raffle. So the one guy, his name was Michael. Michael was the cat's meow, nice, thick, young. He looked like he was biracial, big old nice, thick chest and arms and things. I'm like, oh my goodness. Okay, he is absolutely divine. Then there was another white guy who he was the one that won. I can't call his name right now. It started with the C. It wasn't Charlie. I forgot what it was. Then there was Joe. Joe was the older white guy. He was okay. He was over 50. Okay, I know that much. Okay, and if he wasn't, he had a hard life. Okay. Then there was the black guy, the one black guy that's up there. Okay, lovely old ass, lovely old party package, because he's up there in a jock strap. All his ass I'm carried on, beautiful, right? I'm like, oh dear God, this okay. So my goal was I wasn't going to buy any tickets unless they came and talked to me. Now we had saw Michael had seen Michael prior, because they got a little store where you get your little leather products or whatever, all your little leather gear for those who want to buy at the shop. So he was in there, and we had met him there and carrying on. He said, "Well, you guys staying around for the contest?" I said, "We just got here." So yeah, well, good, because I got to sell raffle tickets. So could you buy your raffle ticket from me? So okay. So they're going around, and like I said, my goal was I'm not buying anything unless they come to me and ask me. The only person who asked me was contestant, the older guy, Joe, who everybody shaded when he was up there. Number one, he looked like he was the older one of the bunch. Number two, his microphone skills were lackluster. He was trying to be cute and it wasn't working. Okay, at least not for me. Okay. And there's not another, but he was the first one and the only one that came up and asked me, would I buy a ticket? Hey, we said to rapper, did you get your tickets yet? Would you like to buy one? And I bought 3 because he was the one. Michael doubled back around. He said, did you get your tickets from me yet? He said, no, you didn't get your tickets. How many do you want? You didn't ask me, but because I said I would, but he came to me. I wasn't going to chase him down. He came over to me. So I bought 4 tickets from him. Now, the pot ended up being, the split was $154, but the guy who won donated the money back to the charity or whatever. Oh, cute. We said that was a setup. I'd have took that damn money, honey. As an out of town guy, I'd have took all $154 of that and put it right in the kitty, honey. Yes, I would have. But anywho, but the black guy with all the beautiful booty and carrying on did nothing. That boy walked by fast 6 times with them same raffle tickets. Ain't said a word. Didn't look at me. So again, black folks, when you are in a bar and it's obvious that you are there because you're into dating exclusively, you like playing in the snow exclusively, why is it that you turn your nose up to the other black children that's in the bar? I don't know. Lanier, I see you up in here. Welcome back, honey. I ain't seen you up in here in a minute. What you got? You say most likely those advocating this boycott are white, in which case such complaints are showing white entitlement getting to its worst point yet. They have become overgrown, spoiled children. Precisely. I totally agree. I totally agree. Tracy, what's going on? Did you hear my question, honey? I'm asking all of the black gay men, honey, who like to play in the snow exclusively. Why is it that whenever we are at what appears to be a predominantly white club, why is it that they always turn their nose up to other black guys in the club? Lanier, what you got? Those type of gays are what I have come to call Tim Scott gays. They assimilate racist white behavior, thinking that is what would get them ahead in the world. A number of light-skinned people of color do the same thing. However, they have a step ahead because of colorism. Oh, now, okay, I'll give you that. That's very interesting. That's a very interesting point because the other guy is interesting. The guy I was talking about, Kevin, that I actually spoke to, I met him through Ronnie. When he came through, he spoke to Ronnie. Now, we had wonderful eye contact because he was gorgeous. He was gorgeous. Not as thick as I like him, but he was gorgeous. I was like, ooh. He was one of those, because he was kind of tall. So he had to have been about 6'2". But I would say he had an athletic body. Okay. Yeah, I would say he had an athletic body because if I were to use my X-ray vision to look up under them clothes, honey, he may not have been chiseled, but yeah, you could tell he works out a little bit. Okay. But after we said hello and carried on, and I asked him his name, and because we still got that eye contact going on, I'm like, okay. He broke my stare to go talk to the white children and stayed there with the white children. I said, oh, okay. Well, at least he spoke, but he was light skinned. Yeah, he was light skinned. Yeah, I noticed that too. Yeah, every damn time, every time. Now my road dog said. He told me, he said, that was an Eagle bar, right? I said, yeah. He said, well, you know what? That's what they do at the Eagle. The Eagle is a predominantly white club. And the black children who go there only want to deal with the white children. But that there is part of the Eagle bar culture. And when he said that, everything in my stomach, honey, just hit my feet. And I said, I was trying not to let that be true. I said, but you know what? I have to accept that and as a possibility. Because I know I don't go to the Eagle here in Atlanta. I don't go to the Eagle unless it's First Friday, and that's because that's Men of Onyx night, right? And of course, the leather community embraces the big boy community. Okay, so a lot of the chubs and stuff out there, men like I like them, and carrying on. So we always go and we attend the First Friday, the Men of Onyx night, because it appears that that's the only time that we are accepted in the bar in abundance. Now, I've been to the Eagle, uh, a couple of times that hasn't been Onyx night, but the vibe is different. The vibe is totally different, you know. And there are times where when you're in a predominantly white club, there are times where it feels as if the patrons are like, what are you doing here? I'm not saying that because I've never had anybody say that to me, but in their actions and the energy shifts. And it's like, you know what? I'm not here to be made to feel uncomfortable and I'm spending my money. Let me take my ass somewhere else, you know? And that I'm wondering, what that is, and what is it that we need to do? Should we bridge the gap? Or is it just let them have their shit and just go create our own? You know what I mean? What is that? What do we need to look at that? Because, child, yeah. Okay. What you got, Tracy? I just know they won't take them home to mama. Who, the white children? Maybe not. Okay. This happened here at Woody's. Okay, okay. And so I don't know, child. I'm at a point to where, being over 50, and this is another thing that I need to look at because there was a few senior citizens there, right? And they up in their leather gear and carrying on. The man is walking on a cane. And am I glad to see him? Yes, because our elders in the alphabet community are never celebrated. Those who have gone through the trenches to allow me to have the freedoms that I have, you know, I marvel at them because they were in a whole different time where the challenge of the laws, I won't say no one challenged them, but no one was willing to change the laws at the time. You have to challenge them, but no one was willing to change the laws. Okay, because everybody wanted to live in a black and white world. So those who had to fight that fight, to help me get to where I am, okay, I applaud that. But wow, looking at him in all his leather gear, and I'm watching him how he interacted with his friends, and I was like, child, you in your head are still in your glory days. And I'm like, oh, you know what, baby? Wait a minute. Because I know here at 53, I still find myself trying to compete with my 25-year-old self. And I'm not 25 anymore. You understand? And so I have to now, get adjusted with the times. I mean, y'all heard me say this earlier. After my surgeries and carrying on, I refuse to accept my new normal of, I get tired a little quicker, and carrying on. If I move it around, if I overexert myself, it takes me 4 days to recover. I don't like that feeling because I'm lethargic throughout the day. I'm like, oh my God, because I feel like I've drained myself. I do not like that. I did not get that feeling until after I had all these damn surgeries. So it's like, okay. But my doctors kept telling me for every cut that I've had, honey, it takes about 1.5 years for each one to thoroughly heal. Well, hell, we at the 5-year mark now. And I'm like, bitch, But I've been cut on like 6 different times. Okay. So at 6 different times, and it takes 1.5 years for each cut. Well, okay. That means I probably got 3 more years because that's 8 years, ain't it? Maybe 8, 9. Okay. Shabbat. Okay. So it's ridiculous. Lanier, what you say, honey? The Eagle here in New York City has the same culture. The Cock here, which I frequent, also has it, but I would say half as bad, hence why I still go there. Okay. So it's not where's the Cock at? I know where the Eagle is in New York. I don't know where the Cock is. Okay. Is it down on Christopher or elsewhere? Because I'm not familiar with that one. But yes, honey. Okay. I wanted to vet that a little bit because, child, it's tiring. It is so tiring. And what are we going to do with ourselves? And see, here's the question too, because now that I'm here, and I used to say this all the time, I've become the old fogey I used to talk about. When I was in the club, there's this one cat, honey, who I swore was in a time warp because he was a product of the 70s. Okay, because I'm at the clubs. It's in the 80s. Okay, so he was a 70s child. So he still got his very white press and curl, still got the long pinky nail, 16 chains on with the wide collar, shirt buttoned down to here, hairy little chest, you know, full Van Dyke and mustache with the bushy mustache or whatever, the big wide uh 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 what's his name? Elton John glasses, you know, I remember going into Bookies, honey, right? When they, the original one on 6 Mile, when it was 6 Mile and Pontchartrain. Uh and I remember saying, what is he doing up in here? He's too old to be up in here like that. I was, yeah. Well, honey, now I become the old fogey in the eyes of these young kids. But we have not conditioned ourselves to prepare for aging, because all of our social time, honey, most of our social time about in alphabet culture is all about a bar. Okay, the few house parties that have been thrown or whatever. Yeah, we have house parties, but most of them end up becoming orgy parties for the young cats, and for the older cats, it's card parties, but still hookup joints, because for whatever reasons, we still think that we got to go somewhere, and the ultimate prize is to get the hookup, to say I got a number, I got somebody's number, or to go, do a quickie with them somewhere in the corner, you know. And we have not cultivated ourselves to say, listen, we're getting older. What is it that we want that to look like? And to see Mr. Man in all his leather, you know, wrinkly and carrying on, and his cane. That's what got me, his cane. And I'm watching, he's struggling, trying to stand up. He don't weigh but 2 pounds wet, and I was like, wow. But he's alive. He's a part of the community. He comes out. I'm sure he's a leather daddy in some regard, because they still revere him, right? And they hold him um in a high regard in the club. So I'm like, wow. So it takes me there of what are we doing better with learning how to age, okay, with learning how to age, and because we got to do things differently. We can't do that shit that we did back in the day the same way, because it'll kill us now. Taking those kind of chances and carrying on. We took a lot of risks and a lot of chances. And those of us who are still here now, remember, honey, we are first generation HIV. So we're the ones that this shit hit in our community. And those of us who are still here, whether we contracted it or not, if you're still here, that means you won here. So we can't go back to doing the stuff the way that we did it back then. Times have changed. Times have changed. And we have got to prepare ourselves for that. And none of us have. None of us have. Okay? None of us. What's that? The Cock is on the Lower East Side, while the Eagle is in Chelsea, a neighborhood I can't freaking stand. Okay, we need more. I am over 50. Okay, right. Well, child, yeah. I can sit down, I can go on and on, because see, but I know I'm preaching to the choir right now. I need to get the choir to go give me an A and a B selection, honey, because we need to go touch some souls, honey. This is where we need to go out there and go win souls, honey. We got to go win the souls over, children. Come on, the saints and the ain'ts and the can'ts, honey. We got to go win souls. And understand, honey, that in this winning of the soul, honey, the soul is that we got to give them nourishment so they can see and make better choices and decisions, because we also have got to establish what would that look like if we established a club that was for 45 and over. I mean, we got lesbian clubs, we got hip hop clubs, we got drag bars and carrying on, and things of that nature. But what if we designed a club and in every major city that catered to those who are 45 and over? Of course, it's open to everybody, but it would cater to us. You know what I mean? To where we play the music that we come to love and know, not necessarily having an oldies but goodies night, but we know the music. Get a good DJ who knows how to mix in the new stuff with the old stuff that we like. Okay, that we like. Or better yet, do we need a bar? Do we need a bar, or are we just acclimated to that kind of culture? Okay. Are we just acclimated to that? You know? Does it need to be a sports bar for those who are sports fans that just want to watch TV all day and holler at the TV screen? You know? What would that look like for us? Okay. You know, most of us need somewhere where we like to talk. So, and it doesn't have to be around the bar where you got me sitting there thinking I got to spend my money to sit at the bar stool. You know what I'm saying? What would that look like? Sophistication, you know, and they ain't got to be open all damn night neither, because that's the one thing. Most of us over 50, honey, we don't stay out all night like we used to. And if we do, it's because we either entertain the company or we're lonely. We don't stay out all night like that because after so long, the music started getting on our nerves. The young folks don't know no respect. You're about ready to knock somebody in their damn head. Or you start to feel as though I've outgrown this because you get bored. Well, those are, you know what, those are my reasons. Let me start saying you, because y'all may not do that. Those are all of my reasons. You know what I'm saying? I'm not out there looking and cruising or nothing like that. Not necessarily. I mean, okay, if it happens, okay, it happens. But that's not my focus. See, before, when we were younger, going out, we went cruising. If you didn't go dancing, you went cruising, right? So now, what's that? Okay, that would be so nice. Okay, sports and lounge area and classic music. Okay, sports and lounge. Okay, right. Okay. You know, what would it take to bring the masculine element of our culture out? Okay, because most of the time it'll be a bunch of the girls, the house mothers and carrying on that'll come in and take over, loud, still loud. All right. Holding court. Okay. And et cetera, et cetera. So what would that do? What would that do for us? What would that do for us? Interesting. So I'm gonna drop that jewel right there. I'm gonna drop that right there. Because it is Monday. Now again, I'm here because I had taken the day off because I thought in my travels, we wanted to have an extra day so that I wouldn't be trying to rush back to work. Oh, and let me say this. Miss Mavis, honey, I had a car accident Thursday. On my way into work. In fact, I'm right here at the intersection. I'm about to turn. Once I cross the intersection, I turn into the job, okay, going into the parking garage. And what ended up happening, I'm at the intersection. There's a car in front of me, okay? When the light changes, he's a police car, state officer. He makes the right turn. I'm going to go through the light. Okay, I'm traveling. This heifer makes a left turn, bitches, and turns right in front of me. And I'm trying to stop thinking that I did not hit her. And I popped her, right? Ooh, and I tell you, I was evil. E and V, honey, I was evil. So we pull over, and I didn't jump out the car cussing because she knew she was wrong, and my spirit is like, no, take a different approach, because I'm learning how not to act out of emotion, okay? Because sit down, breathe. We exchanged information and carried on. I was blocking traffic because it's only like a 2-way, 3-way lane or whatever. So I'm trying to move the car up. Excuse me. I told the child, I said, move your car up so I can bring my car in and pull it in so I can come out of this lane. I went to go start Miss Mavis. Honey, Miss Mavis would not turn over. I was like, girl, don't do that. Wait a minute. I just turned you off. You were just running. I had no leaks, no nothing. We didn't hit that hard. Come on, turn over, baby, turn over. She would not turn over. Would not turn over at all. The lights will come on, they flicker a little bit or whatever. I said, God damn it. Okay. Hit the passenger side of this child's car. She had a 4-door Honda Accord 2013 Burgundy. So how I hit her, it's a bump, but it could be bumped out, right? It could do all that. And a few scratches, right? Mavis, the front end, the bumper and stuff is all whatever. I got this piece that's protruding out of the front end. Light broke and carrying on, and I don't know what else is wrong because the car won't turn over. Miss Mavis won't turn on. Now, I got a 2005 Honda Element. This girl won't turn over. So I'm like, oh, tell me we got internal damage. What the fuck is going on? So when the police came and carried on, I got the police report number, blah, blah, blah. He had to sign the ticket. He got the ticket. So he had to sign that. Okay. And carrying on. So I had to have my car towed to my mechanic. Okay. So the insurance company picked up the towing and this, that, and the other. So tomorrow I go to work, but now we got to budget in Uber money because my insurance, I got liability, but I don't have it to where I can get the rental. Okay, because I think that's under full coverage. That's a 2005. They wouldn't give me a full coverage on that one. So my insurance doesn't cover that. So I got to sue his insurance to do it. But I'm waiting to get the estimate back from my mechanic so I can find out what the hell is going on. Because he said he was able to get it started, but when you turn it off, it cuts back off because he had to use a booster and a jumper or whatever. So he said it might be a cell battery or something, a cell in the battery that done what the hell. I was like, how do you? And something else is wrong with it because he said something else. So he's got to go through and do all this. So I'm without my car. And child, since I've had Miss Mavis and I've had her, November will be 3 years that I've been fully driving, every day. So child, I'm kind of lost. Okay. I am kind of lost. And oh yeah, let me get up out of here because all of this is hurting again. It's something it's got to be how I'm sitting or something, or it's this damn pillow. This pillow don't work for me. Because every time I'm sitting on it, if I take it off, and I've noticed that if I'm not sitting on it, I don't hurt as much in my neck and carrying on. But this damn pillow ain't doing right. Okay. So let me let y'all go, honey. I'm going to let you get back into your world. It's not like the weekend, honey. And it is rather late. So let me let you guys go. Everybody got to go to work in the morning. I got to go back to the donut factory, to Mari. And then this week they got me working 6 days. So I'm not going to be doing the show Friday, y'all, because I'll be at the donut factory. Okay. I'm gonna try to do. I'm trying to get better with doing my big meets moments, but when I sit down and carrying on, I just get into my feelings and things, and I don't want y'all to see all of that because it's like, okay, oh my, not this coming Saturday the 24th, but the following Saturday, honey, we will be 14 years old. District T is turning 14 on July 1st, y'all. So wow. And I'm running this campaign to run for mayor. So I don't know what I'm going to end up doing or whatever throughout that. But that's a whole nother thing. Have you guys gone to like my page yet? Did y'all go like the Big Meech? I mean the Demetrius Taylor for mayor page? Let me run it across here. I need y'all to go do that for me because we're trying to get these numbers up over there on that page. Okay. Demetrius Taylor, number 4 mayor. Go to Facebook and like that page for me, okay? And scroll down. I'm gonna put a link up there because I need y'all to put 5 on. I got to put 5 on the campaign because we're coming up for qualifying, and I know to get on the ballot is $915, but then we got to get materials. To lawn signs, T-shirts, little trinkets, and, marketing tools or whatever to say, vote for me. So, honey, if y'all believe in me and carrying on. Go to my Facebook page, and you'll see what my platform is on the Facebook page or what I want to stand for, and et cetera, et cetera. And honey, if you don't have the link or whatever, see my cash app right there. You could cash it, put 5 on it, baby. I got 5 on it. Okay, come on, let's divvy up and let's make this thing happen for me, okay? And let's make it a good run. Let's make it a good run, okay? This is new for me, honey. I don't know, but it's a fun. I don't know, right? I'm excited. I'm scared half to death. Yeah, it's all of that. But God help me. God help me. God help me. God help me. I think I could do this. I think I can pull this off and become mayor of College Park, y'all. I think I could do this. But they're gonna have a cousin mayor. Now I'm not gonna be Coleman Young for those of y'all who know Detroit. I'm not him, but I am Demetrius. Okay. So having said that, my darling, listen, you may finish all of your crumpets, honey, because the tea has been dished, and you've been dishing tea, darlings, with Big Meats, honey. If you love me like you say you do, honey, like, subscribe, and to share on all the platforms that you see me on, honey. Okay, tell all your friends to come over and do the same thing. Tell them to bring their crumpets to come on in and have a good time with us. If you hate me, like I give a damn, if you hate me, you don't like it, you don't like the fact that, okay, I ain't got my grill together, yeah, I got a big ass nose, you don't like what I said, you think I cuss too much, whatever the fuck that is for you, you can tell all of your enemies to come over here to like, subscribe, and to share. Because one of the things I need you to understand is everything that we're doing over here at 3 the Hard Way, the syndicate, that's including myself, that's including Aunt Nikki, and that's including Minister Lavelle Hayes, honey. Yeah, he done dropped the big red, y'all. God done came in, and yeah, he's Minister Lavelle Hayes. Okay. Everything that we're doing over here in any way, shape, style, form, and or fashion, honey, will move forward. Again, honey, you may finish all of your crumpets because the tea has been dished. And you have been dishing tea, darlings, with Big Meats on this Juneteenth 2023, honey. We'll see you guys again soon, honey. And all of those things and shenanigans. And until the next time, honey,